It's been a while since I have posted anything, and I think as I was trying to find the perfect time or the perfect day, or um, when I felt like it, or when I felt like I had something really strong to share, the days just kept slipping by. And then I was just reading a book, and I just thought to myself as I was reading the book, you have to just start somewhere. Just gotta you just have to do it sometimes. You just have to share when you feel like you should, and you shouldn't really worry about um, if the camera is working well, or if you're dressed the right way, or if you look okay, and if your background looks amazing, not amazing, or at least presentable, and all of the things that come into your mind as you're creating some sort of content. And I feel that um, sometimes those things are not really that important. You just gotta share what you're thinking in the moment and let it just be. So, what do I have for you today? Well, I've been recently I've been reading the Bible, and I've been noticing a certain trend among um, some of God's people, I guess. And the first one is Eli. So Eli, his children were a riot. They were just going off the deep end. They were disobedient. They were not following God. And everybody around them was noticing, the whole land of Israel was noticing that they were not walking in the right way, like how Eli would walk. And when Eli found out, so God spoke to him through Samuel, I think. And so Samuel had a dream, and God spoke to him um, about what was going to happen. And no, maybe it wasn't in a dream, but God spoke to Samuel anyways. And Eli asked him what it was about, and he told them that God was bringing judgment on the house of Eli because of what was happening. And the thing that really made me kind of sad is Eli's response to the situation, and he said, "He's God, let him do as he wills," or something along those lines. And it really rubbed me the wrong way. Um, and a part of it is because Eli knew God, and Eli, to some extent, I do think he loved God, and you can see a part of this when he was sitting and waiting to hear the result of the war between Philistine the Philistines and Israel, and when they came and told him what happened, uh, and this is the part where he falls over and dies because he was really old, and I think he broke his neck. Um, he doesn't fall over when he hears that his children are, I think Hophni and Phinehas, that they're dead. He falls over and dies when he hears that the ark of God has been captured, and you see that he has a deep love for God. Um, However, I felt like the way he responded to God speaking to him, um, it wasn't great. And you see how some other people respond in the Bible. For example, David, when God told him that the son that um, he had with Bathsheba after his transgression was going to die, he immediately starts begging with God um, to try and save the boy if possible. He just does everything that is possible in that moment. And he fasts and he weeps and he puts on um, sackcloth, and he goes through every possible avenue to try and save the child that he has. He doesn't just say, you know, like whatever God has purposed or planned, let it happen. He just goes out of his way to try and do something about it. And the same thing with Hezekiah. Hezekiah, God, he's sick, and then God tells him he's gonna die. And when he finds out, he just starts to weep and plead with God. Um, to change his circumstances, to change the situation he was in. And God does so. He does change his situation. He gives him 50 more years to live. The sad thing is, though, later on, because of what he did with the Babylonians and showing them everything in his kingdom and all the treasures. Um, God tells him that the whole of his family and the whole of, I think, Judah will be captured and will be taken to Babylon, and his own children will serve as eunuchs in the palace of Babylon. And he said, well, that's okay because it's not going to happen in my days. It's going to be good in my days. And even that's similar to how Eli dealt with the bad news from God. And I felt that, at least especially in Hezekiah's case, I don't want to knock on Hezekiah because he was actually an amazing king compared to how all the other kings were, to the extent where the Bible says there was a king like him before and after, how he devoted himself to God and he showed um, amazing allegiance to God. He was quite special in that sense. But in that moment, I do feel that he could have done more. Like he could have begged God the same way he did for his own life. He could have begged for his children. He could have repented of what he did and put some effort in. And when I see these two moments um, where people hear something bad from God and they don't put an effort to to try and intercede, to try and um, lean on God's faithfulness and forgiveness and loving kindness, um, is truly unfortunate. And I think I feel the same way. Like in our lives, when we see something going wrong, or when we see um, things spiraling out of control, sometimes there's a tendency to want to just give up and say, let whatever be, and let's not put an effort in. And that's what God spoke to me in the season. It's like, no, don't let things just be. Like, talk to God, ask God, pray, and until it's over, it's not over. Just keep going after it. And who knows, the Lord of the universe has been known to change his mind, has been known to in his own divine wisdom to do something different. He can. It's possible. Um, so that's what I have for today. Um, just not gonna. I hopefully I will continue to do this more, and you'll see more content coming out from me. Maybe not, but for today I do have something, and I'm happy I shared it with you. Thanks.